Good morning, good afternoon. This is Suya Radio. We are broadcasting from Pennsylvania, the United States of America. Today is a brand new day, and we are happy to be here once again. And those of you who are following this broadcast every Mondays and Thursday on 2A Radio inside Liberia, we want to say, hey, you are welcome. Thank you so much for being there for us. And as we sit, we are glad that you are joining us in today's broadcast. This morning, we want to place some discussion or analysis on the just ended confirmation hearing of Liberia Chief Justice Destiny, Justice CNA Yo. There are a few issues that we want to discuss and look at this morning. So if you are joining us, we would appreciate your comment, and also we hope that you can share the broadcast as we go through this discussion. Liberia is still at a crossroad when it comes to where it got its independence in 1847 and up to now. There's still a lot of hurdles, there are still problems, and Liberia is fighting to get on par with other nations, especially around West Africa. So, what is about the Chief Justice designate, Justice Siena Yo? Before then, let's listen to her voice and hear from some of the comments she made, and then we can begin our discussion from there.
Same time, inculcated values in us. He was gentle in heart, while at the same time stiff as a nail. But my journey is also a product of my late mother, my Romani Bobo colleague, who hailed from among the peace-loving people of Bum County, specifically Sanrio. I recall her always saying that most people have this saying in Liberia that fellow people are stupid. She said, but we're not stupid. We always just take time to understand situations and people before we respond. And when we do respond, it's definite. My mother, although not formally educated, she had a very high deportment and demeanor comparable to any esteemed lady of our society. My mother was well cultured, well organized, and gentle in speech, mannerism, and character. She understood the signs of submission, humility, and peace while maintaining her dignity and self-respect at a very uncompromising standard. And for this, I am proud to wear her ideals as a badge of honor and to also share her values with my daughters and other girls that God brought to me to be mentored. But paramount to all this, my journey is rooted and grounded in my salvation when some 30 years ago I received Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior and surrendered my life to Him. He has not failed me nor left me since. Honorable Senators, particularly members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, I'm aware that at such a hearing, and especially one surrounding the high position of Chief Justice, your interest, and I'm sure the interest of everyone here today is as regards my suitability for the said position. But let me first state here that the Constitution at Article 65 provides that I quote, the judicial power of the Republic shall be vested in a Supreme Court and such subordinate courts as the legislature may from time to time establish, unquote. The new judicial law at Chapter 1, Section 1.1 also states that I quote, the judicial power of this republic shall be embodied in a unified judicial system and shall be vested in one Supreme Court and subordinate courts, unquote. These references are only to remind us that granted there is the position of Chief Justice, but just as we cannot all speak at the same time, the position of Chief Justice exists, but is not an isolated position. There are 4 associate justices of the Supreme Court and judges of subordinate courts who assist the Chief Justice in keeping our entire judicial system unified. Since my graduation from law school some 40 years ago, I have lived in the legal profession. My resume is before you, honorable senators. Then for the last 9 years, I have occupied the position of Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. I have been the oversight justice over the judicial circuits of Sino, Riverside, and Grand Juda counties, and subsequently and presently over the judicial circuits of Cape Mount, Bomi, and Brakuru counties. I have traveled with the current Chief Justice, His Honor Francis C. Copper Sr., on many of his administrative visits to inspect various projects of the judiciary. The full bench of the Supreme Court, sitting in what we have termed as Justices Forum, is regularly briefed by the Chief Justice on administrative matters, following which decisions are made as a full bench as regards cases on appeal before the Supreme Court and the judiciary as a whole. Prior to my ascendancy at the Supreme Court, I occupied several administrative positions at various public institutions, including the Ministry of Justice, private law firms, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Central Bank of Liberia, and the Law Reform Commission. During the course of my 40 years in the legal profession as a prosecutor, a private consultant, an administrator, and an associate justice of the Supreme Court, I have observed the following, which of course are not exhaustive. 1. The general public does not understand the workings of the judiciary branch of government, and this is not unique to Liberia. And because of this lack of understanding and knowledge of this branch of government, there is a high misconception of the judiciary, namely the courts. 2. The procedural laws have oftentimes adversely affected the expeditious disposition of cases in our courts. 3. Non-compliance by the executive government with the Judicial Financial Autonomy Act, which has oftentimes undermined the workings of the judiciary. My vision as a Chief Justice in addressing the first issue listed hearing, which again I would emphasize are not exhaustive, is for the Supreme Court being the regulator of the practice of law to ensure that the Liberian National Bar Association, LNBA, adhere to Article 2 of its own constitution and bylaws, which requires the bar to advance the cause of legal education, secure the passage of legislation to improve the judicial system, improve the relationship between the bench and the bar, ensure lawyers conduct themselves ethically, and improve legal aid among the general public. The bar needs to stand in the gap for the courts. They are the only clients of the courts in developing a national program that will see continuous sensitization of the general public, the appliance, or the procedures and processes of the courts, thus eliminating certain recurrent misconceptions about the courts. And I gave a clear example.
Okay, we have heard a little bit about what the Chief Justice designate, if confirmed and appointed, is planning to engage. Based on the little we have heard about what the Chief Justice said in her opening statement, um, we got a few things. First thing is she's more concerned about financial autonomy of the judiciary. She wants the judiciary to be very independent when it comes to the financial handling of the workings of that institution. She also spoke about the Liberia National Bar Association. She sees the Bar Association as being the model organization for lawyers in that country, and whether the Liberia National Bar is actually prepared to work, assiduously to ensure that lawyers are not only respected, but that lawyers are more involved in the day-to-day activities of governance in that country and also issues bordering Liberians in general. She also talked about mother coming from Maryland County, not Maryland County, from Bon County, and we were concerned about also knowing where our father came from. Told our father came from Maryland County. She said Marylander and not from Bon County. So that's also an issue that we want to look at this morning. Also, she spoke about um, that wasn't said in your opening statement. There was a question that was posed from some of the senators, and wanted to know what are some of the things she anticipating to do, and she emphasized her desire to digitize the documentary, workings or records of the courts, and I think that's one issue that really interests me. And yeah, so these are the issues we want to look at this morning. And also, we want to look at the position of Chief Justice in general. And so we start by that. Okay, what are the duties of a Chief Justice of the court? The duties of the Chief Justice relating to the court are spelled out in the Constitution of Liberia. And of course, primarily the court, the justice system, or the position of the chief justice and associate justices. They are there to ensure the final interpretation of laws of that country. When I say laws, it means the constitution and the statutory laws of the country, and even some administrative laws when it comes to uh, uh, those laws, being adjudicated at the level of other administrative body and a party is now certified with, or at the level of magisterial court and a case coming from there all the way to the full bench. And of course, they are there to run the final decision of the court. I think everybody knows that. Okay. But what is more important for us is that the Chief Justice, the current Chief Justice, Francis Coppola, is to be retired this coming month. Not retired, yeah, he should be retiring from service. I think should be turning 70 this coming month. And because of that, he's supposed to be leaving the bench. And then it was well expected that the president would have appointed uh, a chief justice, to fill the bench, looking at the financial situation, looking at every situation in the country. And then he would have been focused on selecting someone within the legal community, that would have, add up to the number on the bench. But because of the president's decision to use one of the associate justices, to nominate one of the associate justices, it means then the president still have an opportunity. Um, the president has an opportunity to still nominate someone else to equate, to make up the number. There should be five uh, lawyers that should be chief justice and associate justices of the honorable bench. And because of that, we are still expecting, or Liberians are still expecting, that George Weah, President Weah, is still to the point another person, another lawyer to become the chief justice, to become an associate justice of the Supreme Court, meaning currently there will be five after Justice Copper leaves the bench. So I'm sure right now, as they are, the five of them, you have Justice Yo is still in her associate justice's position, and Justice Francis Copper is still occupying that position for the remaining few weeks that we are looking up to where he's going to be leaving the bench. We don't know how soon that's going to be, and that's another issue whether the Chief Justice will leave on the date of his birthday or after the date of his birthday, or how long that's going to drag on is an issue that we're going to keep eyes on too. But primarily today, we want to look at Justice Yo's position, her confirmation, and we also want to look at some of the things that she has said, and we look at the surrounding circumstances surrounding the entire bench. All right. Currently, the bench, we have Justice Francis Coppoy is from Nima County. Justice Yusuf Kabay is from Lofa County, if I'm not mistaken. I think, yeah, he's from Lofa County, not Kidmore, Lofa County. And you have Justice Wolokoli is from Maryland County. We also have Justice Yo is from Maryland County. And then we have Justice Nangwe is from Sino County. All right. So predominantly the bench, you have four justices are from the southeast. No, three justices are from the southeastern region. You have one justice from Lofa County, and then you have one from Nima County. So the Nima justice, who is the chief justice, he will be leaving the bench this coming month, I mean September, and then you're going to have three associate justice. No, you're going to have two associate justices from the southeast. You're going to have one chief justice from the southeast, and then you're going to have one associate justice from Lofa County, and then we're going to be talking about. We're going to be observing. We're going to be looking at President Weir to see whether or not he's going to appoint someone again from the southeast, and then, but we don't think he's going to think that way. All right, but anything is possible because right now we have two Marylanders on the bench. We have two Marylanders on the bench, and I say this because I feel that honestly, the Liberia National Bar herself is not doing justice in the process, or did not do justice in the process. We think even if President Weir did not ask them, they were to discuss all of the issues surrounding the bench, all of the issues. Regional balance is a cardinal issue. Someone will say, well, the law didn't say that. Yeah, we agree. The Constitution did not say that. The Constitution did not say everything that involve the day-to-day affairs of people in that country. But law is reasoning. And because law is reasoning, and there is a statute that even emphasize that mandate the president to appoint two persons from each county. By the parity of reasoning, it is believed that the framers of the Constitution and those who follow the development of the country will not have anticipated, because you have 5 million persons in the country, you have counties. So the 5 persons that are going to be controlling are going to be interpreting the law that will govern the entire country. We think that there should have been a more consideration of balancing, even if it cannot be county-wide, but it must be regional-wide. If someone should come from the western region, someone come from the northern region, and of course the eastern region or the central region, that would have been a very balanced bench. Albeit, there's no constitutional provision that says they should be appointed at those different levels. But we rationalize, we think, that Liberia being almost of the population of 5 million persons, Well, we have not had the latest census, so we don't know whether it's exactly 5 million, less than 5 million, or whatever the case is. But we presume that almost 5 million, we can say that those persons going to be controlled by 5 persons, 5 lawyers. When I say control, it means they're going to be interpreting laws that will affect the well-being of every Liberian, no matter where you're from, no matter which region, no matter which county, no matter which district you are from. Hence, we think that in the future, people should be open-minded in looking at Liberia holistically. And most often, it is good that names would have been submitted to the office of the president rather than a name. I would have preferred that 5 names would have been sent to the president's office, would have been suggested, and the president would have looked amongst the 5 names, and then he would have nominated one person for the position. Howbeit, there is still one position open. The position is still open. He has nominated an associate justice to become the chief justice. So, meaning when Justice Yo dress up as the chief justice, her position is going to be vacant. All right. So it means you will need one more person, one more lawyer to be nominated for the Senate concern and then for appointment to that position. And after appointment, a commission. When the commission is made, then that person will be allowed to say. So at this point, we are hoping that President Weah will not look into the southeastern region again. It's a cardinal and very important issue. Currently, you have 3 persons that are on the bench from the southeastern region. Someone will say, well, the Constitution didn't say that. Not everything. Let me repeat. The Constitution did not say all the things that affect the people of that country. The Constitution did not, inscribe or did not, the framers did not suggest that everything that will affect Liberians would have been placed in the Constitution, neither the laws of the country. So some of those administrative decisions, good governance will suggest that you look into other region. And we are strongly hoping that this last person that Georgia is going to appoint, that person will not be someone from the southeastern region. Because there's a governor of the southeastern region. Speaker from the president from the southeast, speaker from the southeast, pro tem from the southeast, deputy speaker from the southeast, finance minister from the southeast, and many more. So if we were to take the list of ministers and let's say officials of the government, I'm very sure we will have more than 50% coming from the southeastern region. Okay, but for this position is also critical, and we know that this is a legal profession, but Liberia is not short of lawyers. There are more lawyers in Liberia, and there are more lawyers outside of Liberia. So we think the president can look anywhere, but not in the southeastern region at this time around, and find another person to occupy the associate justice's position. Now let's go down to some of the issues that have been discussed by the associate justice, who is now the chief justice in waiting. Justice Joffa, let me take it from the high point to the lower end, right? She emphasized that she will prioritize digitizing the record system of not only the Supreme Court, but for the entire courts. That is something that I think is well placed and is welcoming. We think Justice Yo's decision to digitize the records of courts is something that is overdue. Okay, in this age and time, you should not go to the civil law court and see files dusted and lying all over the place. You should not go to the Supreme Court and be looking for records all around the place. You should not go to any of the circuit courts and be looking for records all around the place. There must be a full digitized system. And she has said it, and we're going to keep watching her. If some of us have the opportunity to even reach to her someday, we're going to commend her for that, and we will want to see that happening. Liberia lacks record keeping system. So to suggest that she's going to digitize the record system of courts, that's welcoming. If the court can do that, I think the executive branch of government will pick up steam, and the judiciary, the legislative branch of government will also do the same, because even there's no need that Liberians will want to make research about Liberia. Will want to go to the Library of Congress. That should be the last place to run, meaning you have exhausted almost all of those places. We don't have a very standing library in Liberia. All right, even the library at the University of Liberia. I did a research in that place before. I was looking for the photos of speakers, those who have served that as speakers for the Republic of Liberia. Trust me, we could not get. I think we got 9 photos. All right, so it is important to keep records, because guess what? Most of you that are in position, not very likely, you're not going to live for the next 25, 30 years. All right, if you do live, life's going to be a little different. Maybe you're going to lose your mind, you're going to have memory lost, and there will be nobody to say what has happened for the years that you are governed. I remember when I was at the legislature, the NT at the time, we were behind those people to make the records. But people thought eating money was more important than making records. Today, as we speak, most of them are not even known. And when you speak like this to people, they probably don't get the picture, except those who think far ahead of them. Your great-grandchildren, think about that. When they come, maybe you may be dead and gone. But they should say, oh, my dad was a senator. My dad was a chief justice. Or my mom or my aunt, my great-grandmom, she was one of those associate justices. She was nominated and she became chief justice. So we want to say, digitizing the record system in the court is something that Justice Yo, we shouldn't believe that this is one statement because of confirmation hearing. And we seriously hope that Justice Yo will digitize the record system within the next 2-3 years. Not only digitizing the record system, but as somebody like me can stay right here and research and go online and get information that I need. Probably instead of going to the Library of Congress, I can go right over there and get some document. Instead of rushing to go find some record somewhere, let me be able to research from whatever digitized record system that will be created under your administration as Chief Justice. All right. So that's one issue that we wanted to discuss here this morning. It is welcoming. That statement is welcoming. We think it's perfect, and we want to hope that Justice Yo, if confirmed and appointed, she will do the most honorable thing to do that in the soonest possible time. All right, that's one issue. The second issue is Justice Yo call for financial autonomy of the judiciary. Justice Yo has been on the bench, according to her, for almost 10 years. And she said it has been a fight between the executive branch of government and the judiciary. When I hear those things, I ask, where is the power of the Supreme Court? Where's the power of the Supreme Court? Is Samuel Tuer, the Minister of Finance, can see the law that says financial autonomy for the judiciary, and yet will go and cut salaries of judges, and you will have the Chief Justice and Associate Justices not making the record, to the point where Samuel Tuer will get to realize, his finance minister, that there is a Supreme Court of the Republic. So if he didn't do it yesterday, we are wondering, how are you going to do that? Well, we want to see your start of governance, your start of administration, because In short, if we must be very critical, we would think that the corpus bench did feel in this area. That is why Justice York is emphasizing that look, we have had serious of problem with the Financial Autonomy Act or law that was passed by the national legislature. So if there's a law and you are setting to interpret the law and that people are in violation of the law and you cannot stop them, then there's more questions to be answered. Howbeit, every administration, we are cognizant that every administration has a star. So we hope that Justice Yo, when you go up to the bench, that these things you're complaining about, that you will be able to seek the well-being of judges of courts, and not judges of court, but all lawyers within the Republic of Liberia, and beyond them, clients, people who will go to the court for justice, that you will do the honorable thing. The most well expected is that the common people must get justice in the courts. All right. So that's the second issue we have. So financial autonomy, where there's a statute. If anybody thinks that the judiciary should not enjoy financial autonomy, they must go and seek amendment of the law and not to abrogate the law. And I don't know why there will be a chief justice and associate justices sitting, and the law that gave you so much power will be violated. I don't know under what circumstances. So if the law that's supposed to protect you, justices, is being violated, and there is no redress for you people, then we wonder what will happen if the common man is affected and either taken advantage of by any officials of government. What's going to happen next? All right. So we just wanted to emphasize that, and that's the second important issue. The next one we want to talk about is, we spoke about it already, but it's just in an orderly form. Um, there are again there are three associate justices from the southeastern region. There are two justices from Maryland County. You know, um, we are not here to discuss individuals, but we think these positions should have been well considered, and that at least each county should be represented on that bench. That's my opinion. You cannot tell me that there is not a capable lawyer from each county. No one can tell me that. Every county has lawyers that are competent and are prepared to serve on the bench. So there should be no need why you should have two justices from one county. Beyond that, there is a more significant issue here that, how do Liberians think? The entire citizenry, you know, perception wise, somebody will say, well, we're doing it with law. We don't talk about perception. We're talking about governance. Governance is about the three branches of government. So to have almost all of the Southeasterners taking highest position in the government is troubling. There was a lot of cry from people. Sorry to say this, but I have to say there were a lot of cry from we, the country people, that the Congo people were all talking about themselves. People got killed because of that. Sectionalism, tribalism. If those things people have died, people were killed for, there should be no reason in this age and time that people should continue to repeat the same thing that they all found on yesterday. The country boys are now running the country. But the way it's going, it doesn't suggest that they are living by what they were preaching yesterday. So we think that the next appointment should not be someone from the southeastern region. There are other lawyers from the western region, from the central region, and the northern region of Liberia. Or there are other lawyers from different counties, not just from the southeastern counties, so to speak. So having said those, we hope we're watching George. We are watching you on that. Okay. And we hope sometimes people can be very stubborn and say, well, we're going to do it our way. I mean, the law didn't say anything like that. The law didn't say it. The law is the law. But you are governing human beings. So you take note of that. If you want to appoint everybody, again, it is yours. You can decide to appoint anybody from the southeastern region again. It is yours. But you'll be criticized if you were ever to do that. And somebody will say, well, I don't care what somebody says. I know most of the appointments, they are online factors. But we think that the next appointment for the Associate Justice's position, that you will do the most fair thing and give other region or other counties an opportunity to serve on the Supreme Court. And we think, okay, and having said that, let's look at the issue of the Liberia National Bar Association. It's also good. I'd appreciate Justice Yo for her comment. She says she's going to work with the Liberia National Bar Association to ensure that the Bar Association live by its own law. She said Article 2 of the Bar Association, bylaws and constitution, she's going to enforce that. She's going to ensure that those things are done. But good enough, she recognized the Liberia National Bar Association. So we hope that the Bar Association herself will begin to speak. I don't know where in this world that lawyers would think that speaking on national issues is wrong. Someone will say, because I'm sitting as an associate, justices are the one who should even speak publicly and be able to address issues. We don't say bring your court issues to the public view. But for a justice, why is it happening all over the world? Justices are the one that people look up to for opinions, for decisions. The opinion not necessarily be the one you carve in a courtroom. There are some issues bordering society, and it is you that's supposed to be there to address those issues. And beside the justices, even lawyers. Because lawyers are not speaking, those who are lawyers now, they occupy your position, they occupy your places. All right, you are a lawyer, you feel that you're not supposed to speak publicly. So you say that. So those who didn't go to law school are the ones who are becoming lawyers now. When they're talking, then you want to complain about them. The world has changed. There are the most easier way to communicate in this world now is by social media. Whether somebody like it or not, justices in the United States are speaking on national issues. They are debating the issues. People go to different schools, justices. They are invited and they speak publicly on issues. They are quizzed and they answer questions. So by this time, we should know the legal philosophy of almost all of the justices on the bench. All right. We will be looking at the Liberia National Bar Association and see where they're going to go. Whether they're going to redouble their efforts and fight to do the most what is expected of them so that you can have a better society for tomorrow. All right. That goes for the Liberia National Bar Association. The Bar Association must be able to speak even on opinions of the court. When you go for bar convention, it's not a place to go and maybe have fun fair and all of those things. Let the justices be sitting down there and you begin to discuss the issue. Like this. There's an issue that caught my attention. Maybe we're going to have a special discussion on that. I even want to write an article on that. Somebody has a land issue. And this person go to court and sue at the level of the magisterial court. And the party, probably for whatever reason, for either trespassing or for whatever act that was committed, that person is arrested and taken to court. That person has no right to piece of property. By the time it become a matter of some funny discussion, lawyers sit in there, they say, oh, why? They will not prosecute the case simply because some other discussion has gone place. Somebody go and find some kind of a piece of other document. They say they get a D, and that D is not allowed to be examined. I mean, this is something troubling. I just heard about that. But we hope that even the justices or the Liberal National Bar Association will begin to look at almost all of those things daily. You all know all of the issues you put in the country. You all know everything that affecting the legal system. But some of you decide to sit in your offices and don't discuss the matters. And the result, the innocent people are suffering. Lawyers sometimes, some of them manipulate the system. So when the bar association is aware of those issues, they should be the one to address these matters. It doesn't have to be a courtroom drama. There must be advocacy to ensure that justice is served and that the innocent is not allowed to suffer. Okay, so we're going to be looking at some of those issues in our future discussion. So that's all about the bar association. The judicial power must not be hindered as a result of this quote unquote financial issues. Finance ministry want to take this action, or presidential or legislative decisions are being made, all of those stuff, and what have you. Give the judiciary their money. If they don't do their job, then Liberian people should get on their back. Liberia should be the place where everybody should speak freely. If they find the Chief Justice is not working, there should be no way that the Chief Justice cannot be told that they are not working as per expectation. Or if lawyers are not doing their job, because this is it. When people saying, oh, the country is not progressing, oh, 174 years, nothing happening in Liberia, nothing happening in Liberia, it's not just the executive branch of government. Because if the judiciary is working, the legislative branch is working, the executive branch will work. Because the legislative branch of government can check on the executive branch of government to make the executive branch of government to work. When the executive branch of government is working and they are in violation of standing laws of the country, the judiciary can make them to do what is right. Like that, the country will move smoothly, the country will move forward. So these are the issues that we have for you all this morning. It's a short discussion. We hope that the confirmation process, this one, because we know justice, you're going to pass. They're going to confirm her. We saw the signs in the chambers already. All right. In the same vein, President we know right now you have plenty of things in your ears. People telling you this and that. Oh, this and that. Oh, we can do this. And I know the focus is next year election. But this other appointment, we hope that you will not appoint someone from the southeastern region. So who is more who is more sectionalist? Who is the if I look at the Congo and country people, who is more, because sectionalism, tribalism, they all are brother and sister, they work together. So if we look at the countryman government, country giant, and the what would I call the other people? I don't know how to call them. Okay, the Congo people, right? So compare the two different groups and compare their the style of governance. There's certain things people don't want to hear, right? But we have to tell people the truth too. This time is worse. You can have one group of people coming from one region. Maybe the only thing maybe I said, Netherlands can fight to be a country of our own, right? Yeah, then they can have maybe 3 or 4, 5 justices to govern their country. As of now, we have Liberia, and Maryland is part of Liberia. So please don't chunk all of the justices to Maryland County. We hope the next person don't come from Maryland again. Okay, those are a few comments this morning, and it's just a way of participating in the democratic process in my country, and we hope that Liberia will be better. And Liberia is better. There's a lot that will go wrong. Development will go wrong. People will fall in line. People will respect the laws. People will have, um, you know, freedom of expressions and free movement, and everybody will be free to do a lot of stuff. When Liberia is not progressing, there's a lot of problem. Okay, having said that, those were our talking point for today, and I'm glad that some other folks join us. More information. Welcome to, okay, somebody, Mitchell, thanks for the update. And this is Mitchell says, well, I am one. Michelle watching from Old Road, Liberia. Good morning here. Okay, I know I'll see you. And I see this is Fobaye. I know she will be confirmed by the Senate. Yeah, Fobaye, I know that too. She's very likely to be confirmed by the Senate. Okay, and yeah, Fobaye also says watching from Liberia. Okay, so guys, it was good that you being with us. Liberia is going to be good, and we all are glad to be here once again. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, here we go.